This morning, encouraging signs out of the UK. New coronavirus cases there are plunging after the country experienced a spike because of the Delta variant. CNN's Phil Black live in London with much more on this. Phil, the big question is how? Why?
Yeah, indeed, John. Last week, when England threw away the pandemic rulebook and declared so-called Freedom Day, the expectation was things were going to get much worse. The scientific modelling showed the existing surge was only going to get bigger and stronger. But since then, this extraordinary thing has happened. Cases have fallen rapidly, and no one really knows why. In the first week of England's hands-off, mostly unrestricted policy of living with the coronavirus, something extraordinary has happened. The UK's growing wave of cases has suddenly, unexpectedly fallen away. The drop has been quick and dramatic. Compared to the previous week, the total number of confirmed cases is down 36%. Scientists admit no one saw this coming.
It's not something that I expected or predicted.
I think it's a surprise to a lot of people to see something that's come down this quickly, this much in synchrony.
So they only have theories on why this is happening. The end of the European Soccer Championships means no more big emotional crowds. A recent stretch of good weather encouraged people to stay outside. Schools are out for summer, closing what some scientists believe is a significant environment for transmission. Awareness of surging cases may have inspired more cautious behaviour, and there's also the possibility vast numbers of people are still being infected. They're just not following up with tests because they don't want to cancel plans and stay at home.
So the issue is what we're seeing in terms of a reduction in cases a true reflection of the community levels of infection?
Scientists feel confident on one point. Vaccines are helping, but it's too soon to attribute the drop to herd immunity.
We need to remember only 55% of our population are fully vaccinated. The rest are either partially vaccinated or not vaccinated at all.
The delay between infection and symptomatic illness means the figures don't yet reflect the consequences of England throwing away its pandemic rules on July 19th.
It is very, very important that we don't allow ourselves to run away with premature conclusions about this.
But the sudden changes are fueling hope. The UK will not experience the grim, difficult summer many predicted. So is this real? Is this a blip? Is it a new sustained trend? Scientists say they will be studying hospital admissions figures in the coming weeks, because if this is a real significant drop in infections, then you should see reduced numbers of people falling seriously ill. And at the moment, those numbers are still going up. John.
All right, well, we're watching, we're waiting, and frankly, Phil, we're hoping, based on where we are here in the United States, that we can follow that example if it's real in the United Kingdom. Phil Black, thank you very much.
And joining us now is Dame Karen Pierce. She is the UK ambassador to the United States. Ambassador, thank you for being with us this morning. How are you viewing this phenomenon, and how is the British government viewing it?
Well, we're cautiously optimistic. We're conscious we don't have all the data yet. We believe it has something to do with good messaging, people following sensible rules on behaviour like hand washing, and of course a high vaccination rate. But we need much more information before we can properly analyse this and work out what the future trend will be.
You know, one of the things we're trying to figure out here is, are you doing something differently than we are? What's different about the UK than the United States? And one of the things you mentioned to us is, you know, you're a Brit living in the United States right now, so you have unique perspective. In the United Kingdom, there's not the anti-vax sentiment that there is here. Explain.
That's exactly right. There are some communities that resist getting the virus and resist getting the vaccine, and we rely very much on local leadership and peer pressure and public messaging to bring those communities round. But on the whole, the numbers are very good. 70% of adults have been fully vaccinated, 90% have got one dose, and we continue to push out the messaging about hand washing, good behaviour, wearing masks in crowds. As the Prime Minister said, we're not dropping all the rules, but we are being careful and cautious and opening up.
90% with almost 90%, depending on the country, wherever you are, but that's huge when you compare what we're dealing with in the U.S. And one of the issues right now is that Britain is now allowing Americans and Europeans who are fully vaccinated to come into Britain and not have to quarantine. And I know that Britain is looking to the United States to do the same thing. Do you expect that the US will reciprocate?
Well, we were very pleased to make the announcement yesterday, and as you say, we will allow Americans who are fully vaccinated into the UK without restrictions. They will need to show proof of living in America. They will need to show their CDC card, and they will need to take a test before they leave and a test when they've been there for 2 days. And if I could just say, so that no one gets confused by the rules, anyone who wants to know can go on to www.gov.uk. We do hope the Americans will be able to lift the travel restrictions on the UK and other Europeans soon. We have a task force working on this with the administration, set up after the President visited the United Kingdom in June. We know you're not ready to lift that order yet, that executive order, partly because of vaccination rates, but we continue to look at all the detail, all the technicalities, and try and work out with our American colleagues how we could get a travel corridor of some sort going. We really want to open up to business and international travel.
One of the requirements is proof of vaccination, which is something that I think there's more of a willingness for in the United Kingdom than, again, here in the United States. You have these COVID passports in a way. What rights, what does this get you into? What doors does it open when you have proof of vaccination in the United Kingdom? How does that work?
At the moment, it's a document whose use is being developed over the next few weeks. From September, there will be venues like nightclubs. You had a shot of that. Nightclubs will require people to be fully vaccinated, and so that passport will be useful for that. But at the moment, we're working out what venues, what large events, what large crowded events a passport might be useful for.
It is like a different world in a way from the country that we are living in with the different factors here. It's very interesting to hear from you. Ambassador, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.